I'm Strider, your host here at Author in the Headlights, and I want to thank you for joining us. And if you haven't yet, if you'd hit that subscribe button, you won't miss a single one of our episodes. And today we've got Kevin Wolf. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing just fine, just fine. And you're a Colorado boy, right?
Actually, you're talking to me. I'm in Estes Park, Colorado. Estes Park's about an hour and a half north and west of Denver. And Estes Park is the gateway city to Rocky Mountain National Park.
I was going to say that's up in the western Denver. You're in the mountains there, I think.
Yeah, well, 74, where I'm sitting, I'm about 7,600 feet above sea level.
That's pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you write westerns in Colorado. That makes sense to me. And mysteries, right?
Yeah, all the stuff I have has a strong Western thread, some contemporary settings for some mysteries, and I've also written a traditional Western.
Okay. And let me see. I've been on your website and I saw the galleries in there, beautiful pictures, elk, and I mean, just it's beautiful country too. And that hits my heart and soul. A pretty big Western been to it. I've been a big game guide and led pack trains and everything you consider all that. And in your write-up, I know it says you enjoy fly fishing and old Winchesters and Western movies. And yeah, that's where I spent most of my life up until the
Uh,
more recent
yeah,
years.
I'm an old guy. I'm a boomer, and Saturday mornings was Fury and Sky King and all those black and white westerns, and you know, my dad let me stay up past my bedtime to watch Gunsmoke on Sunday nights.
Anyway, let's get down to you and your books now that I've done my bit of nostalgia there. So your newest book is Trailridge.
Yeah, and it is a no it, Trailridge Road in Rocky Mountain National Park leads from where I live on the east side, crosses the Continental Divide to the west side of the park. It was built during the 1930s by the yeah,
Conservation Corps, you bet.
yeah, the Make Work project, and it actually follows an old Indian trail where the Indians would cross from the western slope to the east side to hunt buffalo in the summer months. And the Trail Ridge Road plays a part in the story. As there's a midnight car chase across this perilous mountain road. As you said, I'm a fly fisherman, and the story opens with a character's name is Guy Hogan. He and his wife had planned to make this mountain community their retirement home when cancer takes her before the home's finished, and Guy Hogan finds himself alone in what was going to be, their getaway. Um, Fly fishing becomes his escape, and every morning the cast of with the fly rod, he hopes his loneliness goes just a bit further away. And then one morning he discovers a body in his favorite fishing hole. And that's about the first 3 pages of the book. And from there, he meets a mysterious woman in a sports car, and she might be in danger. She might be dangerous, or both. And as they come together to track down maybe what happened to this man that was killed, they run into elk poachers, some crooked rangers, and a plot that was much bigger than they expected.
Okay, then you've got the boot heel. What is
Boot
that
Heel,
about?
yeah, Boot Heel is a traditional Western. It came out in September of last year. We entered it in the uh, Western Fictioneers, which is a professional group for Western writers, really that traditional part of the Westerns at the post-Civil War era. And it was a finalist in their best traditional Western contest. So it's an orphan cowboy and an old gunslinger follow a treasure map into Mexico and meet all the trope characters you could think of. There's a dance hall girl with a heart of gold. There's crooked sheriffs and Mexican bandits. And
The things you expect from a Western.
yeah, I mean, what could there's Gunsmoke by page 5, and runaway horses, and and of course everything has to end up in a big showdown.
Well, of course. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, it was a fun book for me to write. Like I said, because of my interests, and I wanted to write a Western. And so many Westerns are, the wagon train journey, the stagecoach, the cattle drive. So in my book, we got these two characters following this map into old Mexico, and it's right at that cusp of the turn of the century. So when they get to El Paso, they see electric lights and hear streetcars, but pretty soon they're out in the desert where it's just them and their horses.
Okay. Then you go, what's the next one then?
We're just releasing this month a book called The Home Place,
Hmm.
and it's available for pre-order now. It'll be coming out, I think, the 20th of this month, and it's the 10th anniversary. Back in 2015, this book won the Tony Hillerman Award for Best Debut Mystery, and
Congratulations.
and
Yeah.
it was Macmillan Press published the book. The book's been out for a while. I got the rights back and thought after 10 years, maybe I could introduce it to a few other
I
people.
like it. Yeah, no, that's a great way to do that.
Yeah.
And Author in the Headlights is not only for readers to get their next book they want to read, but also for other authors and writers, new or not, to hone their skills, to learn those little bits of the trade somebody else did and become more successful. And so those kind of tidbits are really great. Okay, a 10th year anniversary for your book that you've had out there. 10 years is a long time in the writing world.
Yeah,
It
and
just is because it drops down the list.
yeah, it was published by a major house, and they're really working on 6, 8 months,
Hmm.
and then they're on to their next
That's
set
right.
of and
That's good. So for
and
you
yeah,
authors out there, take note of that, all right? 10-year
yeah,
anniversary of your book. Get it republished and redone.
and
And then
then
you've got a town called Vengeance.
I had a couple other little novels that came out after. The first one was Brocart, and the second one is Town Called Vengeance, and they're kind of weird westerns. Very strong Western voice, all the characters you expect, except the bad guy's a werewolf. And it's
Hey, all
and it,
right. That's cool. Genre
and
crossing.
the first book was Brocart. The mystery was set in a Colorado mining town in the 1880s. The second book, A Town Called Vengeance, Kepler, who's the protagonist, is a kind of a down on his luck newspaper reporter, and he follows this evil presence from Colorado to Arizona. Now that's the time of Doc Holliday and Apache Indians and everything. There's a third book that I've been working on off and on for several years. In the third book, Kepler will follow the evil presence and the wolves are now the feature act with Buffalo Bill's Wild West show.
Well, get on it. I want to read that.
Yeah, this summer, a book called Comanche County, which is actually a sequel to The Home Place, and it's the same setting, a town on the eastern plains of Colorado, and same set of characters. It's county fair time in this small town when the bodies start to fall. And we got a gang of bad guys that thinks the world has done them wrong, trying to get even with their old friends in the county. The protagonist is game warden in the district. She was introduced in Home Place as kind of a secondary character. People really liked her. So we thought we'd explore things with her. And Birdie is real good at her job as a game warden. She can be trusted to do what she needs to do. She's hard-nosed when it comes to people that break the game and fish laws. But Birdie has a terrible time with her life. She just doesn't fit in. She's not a girly girl. And yeah, so when she's thrust into this, there's a series of adventures that, she's ready for, but then she meets some surprises.
Okay. Well, that sounds cool. So get to work, get those finished, and get them out there. And
Well,
that's coming soon.
and it's ready. It'll be ready to go to person that formats it and puts it up for me by the end of the month. And then
Look forward to it.
we'll choose the August date for it to come out.
Yeah. And when it does, and with the rest of them, let me know and we'll get that on our
Sure,
GermanPublishing.com's
sure,
bookstore. All right.
sure.
For those people that listen, and we do get some traffic through there. So you get some sales. That'll be good.
And let me once you talked about helping other writers. I'm currently vice president of Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers. Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers is a writers organization based in Denver, but we reach out to the Rocky Mountain states each year we have a writers conference in September. We invite in agents and editors out of the big anybody we can get to.
Hmm.
It's a 3 day conference. Starts on a Friday, and it's the last weekend in September every year. And if you're a new writer, I'd urge you to, in thinking about something, it's a great place to take a family vacation around a couple of days of a conference from you. See the Rockies at the end of the season, or catch some pre-season or early season Bronco games, get up into the mountains, do some stuff around that. And typically, we run an attendance about 350 each year, and typically about 20% of those are first-time writers that are coming in. And we're a multi-genre organization, so we're not
Okay.
just zeroed in
Just,
on mysteries or romance or something like this. So
just
it's
Rocky
very,
Mountain fiction.
yeah. Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers.org is the
All right.
website.
So there you go. If you live in that part of the world, tie in with them. And you're also a member of Western Writers of America and Mystery Writers of America. So you know your way around a bit.
I envisioned when I wanted to be a writer that I was going to sit in an attic someplace with this old typewriter and put out these pages, slide them under the door, and somebody would slide in fan mail and money.
Yeah, wouldn't
It
that be
didn't work
nice?
out that way. I found Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers early on when I was struggling, and they did monthly workshops, met in the conference, met other writers, got involved in critique groups. I'm sure there's the people out there that can do it that go it alone. But for me, I needed the encouragement of other writers and learn from what they were doing, and the synergy of getting together with other writers to learn and press forward. And we're storytellers, and we want to
Yeah,
tell our story to anybody.
it's true. All
Cool.
right. So it's been great being with you, Kevin. By the way, if you want to see Kevin online, it's Kevin Wolf Storyteller, all one word, kevinwolfstoryteller.com, right?
Yeah, drop by the website.
Absolutely. So your books will be available on Derman.com's bookstore. They can check you out there or anywhere else. Look him online. You'll find him.
Yeah.
All right. Kevin, I want to thank you for being with us. Time is short, but maybe we'll get back together, get another book up there. Let me know when they get done.
I will, and thanks so much. We want people to find our books, and this is the way we're doing it now. These podcasts and social media has become so important to us. So thanks very much for taking time out and introducing me in particular and other new writers.
You betcha. Besides, how often do you talk about beating my fly to death or, my Decker ring pack saddle out in the garage or my elk rack in the wall? I don't get to talk about that much.
Yeah,
Another part of my history.
sure.
Okay, Kevin, thank you so much for being with us. And
Thank
until
you.
next time, I'm Strider, your host here at Author in the Headlights, sponsored by DermanPublishing.com. And we'll see you again.